Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Jason, and today we've got for you a CE's Division matchup, which is just kicking off with the first draft. We've got Tomb of the Spider Queen for PrimeApes versus Team Mana Frenzy. Welcome back, everybody, for Season 9. We are still in Week 1, still getting an idea of what these teams are capable of on each side, and should be interesting to see what these teams have for us. We've been off for a few months, and the meta is continuing to evolve and change as they patch this game faster than they ever did back in the old days. I want to give a shout out to all the teams joining up with NGS. It's been really cool to see those numbers fly up. Highest number of teams in NGS Season 9 than any season prior to Season 6 after the HGC collapse and all of the big changes to the game. So good to see people coming back. I hope everyone out there is safe and can give a little bit of nice distraction from these strange times. Let's get on into the game here. So Team of the Spider Queen, we right away see these teams banning out some of the classic wave clear heroes, Kael'thas and Asmodan going out. It's a big priority here on this map. Quick rotations can sometimes give you that advantage to be able to sneak a turn in, get those back camps, and get yourself closer towards that objective with those web weavers pushing down in every lane. We'll also see Deathwing taken out. No surprise to see him being taken out, but Zol is really the big one. I think most teams are fixated on Zol right now. He's so very strong in the meta. And Johanna going to be the first pick. So the classic wave clear tank going to be coming out for Team PrimeApes, actually. I have the names on here wrong, so let me do the old switcheroo. There we go.
I'm here to help.
I bring the mega death.
And going to be followed up with Jaina and ETC. So again, Jaina, very good wave clear. ETC, just a good control tank in general. He's got that slide to be able to get out of trouble after he goes in and tries to get some work done on interrupting or CC or trying to get some control. But Joe's a pretty good answer, especially to that mosh pit for ETC. Stukov, another interrupt potential with that lurking arm. Greymane, just good chunk damage in general. Offers a decent amount of wave clear as well, but I think the big thing with Greymane is his camp taking ability. When it comes to boss burn and getting that bruiser camp, it's really second to none as far as camp taking, and he can also sneak down to that bottom lane. I've seen that play quite a few times on this map. Sneak away from that 4-man rotation, go down and get that bottom camp early to give the solo laner a little bit of an edge. Meanwhile, Zeratul banned out. Feels like a targeted ban. Ana going to be banned out on the other side, so PrimeApes going to apply that healer chokehold as they already have Stukov on their side. Don't want to see that nano boosted Jaina. So still a bevy of picks available here for Team Mana Frenzy, though. They could use another damage dealer. They'll get the Phoenix. They're going to pick up the Rhaegar and wisely going to wait on the solo lane pickup to see what PrimeApes get. It did not swap the logos. Let me swap those logos for you guys real quick. There we go. That looks a little better. Very interesting pickup for Hydra here. Kel'Thuzad going to be the pick for that backline burst damage. Not bad wave clear from Kel'Thuzad either. Especially with Johanna and Greymane on the team. Should be pretty solid. Meanwhile, Leo, one of your classic standard
I'm in.
Solo laners. Meanwhile, Kira looks like maybe the solo lane pickup, or Kira could be in the 4-man. which you could see Phoenix trying to counter that Leo in the solo. We'll see how Team Mana Frenzy wants to play it. Thank you everybody for the help in the chat. And welcome everyone for game number 1. You made it just in time if you're just tuning in. Weenus, thank you very much for the bits. All 69 of them. As we get into the game here, we'll start with Team Mana Frenzy. Going to be on the left. We got Captain Bobo on ETC. Kelvs is going to be playing the Kira. Defiant Angel on the Rhaegar. Tired Lemon going to be playing the Jaina. Try and Go on the Phoenix. And over on the side of PrimeApes, we're going to have 11th on the Stukov. Joshua Scott on Leo. Hiva going to be playing the Kel'Thuzad. And Frozen going to be on Johanna. And G Prime Captain going to be on the Greymane. Should be an interesting one to watch. Draft-wise, I would say I probably like PrimeApes draft just a little bit more. You know, I think the Kel'Thuzad on this map is interesting. You want a map, if you're playing against Kel'Thuzad, you want a map where you don't have to engage with the other team, especially outside of objectives. But on this map for Tomb of the Spider Queen, you are constantly having to engage with the other team in your rotations, having to try to deny these turn-ins, and that is definitely going to make it difficult for them to avoid stacking that Kel'Thuzad. Let's see. Alrighty. So game number 1. Gotta love the Carbot spray. Don't mind the B-stepping either. From Hiva. Looks like we're going to get the standard 5v5 in the mid to start this off. Try and go going with the Arsenal synergy at level 1. Very interesting talent. Difficult to pull off sometimes, but if you've got that step down, you can pull that off, and it can be pretty effective. Meanwhile, we do see the side of Team Mana Frenzy trying to be a little bit passive here, not necessarily shying away from the soak, but trying not to give that Kel'Thuzad the easy stacks. So they're going to let themselves fall a little bit behind in the rotation and just play a little bit passive here. Meanwhile, down bottom, it is going to be Kira lining up in the solo lane. Should be an interesting matchup as they go back and forth. I think a lot of it's going to be right there on that spooky hand, whether or not Joshua Scott can get that soak. Meanwhile, right away, both teams sending a player back to do camps, but ooh, G Prime having a little bit of trouble. Going to have to leash it, but gets a little bit of help on the other side. Phoenix was going to the back lane, but going to leave that alone and actually go down to bot instead. Pick up that bottom camp, see if anybody can scout that out in time. Meanwhile, rotations continuing up in the top lane. Top and mid, I should say. Camp picked up now. We'll see if PrimeApes wants to try to push this in. They do definitely have that opportunity here. Meanwhile, Chain goes down, but doesn't quite find the mark on anybody. Captain Bobo going to have to back up, though. Taking a ton of poke from PrimeApes. They're not going to push in with the actual camp itself. Going to go clear up top and maybe see if they can get a little bit of push up here. Force a little bit of that XP to be lost. But meanwhile, camp was taken down in the bot lane, and now that'll give, like I said, that solo lane advantage down here to the side of Team Mana Frenzy. Joshua Scott going to have his work cut out for him clearing this up. Meanwhile, up top, they're catching up on the wave clear. 15 turned in so far for PrimeApes. Captain Bobo going to go for the cap, but not going to be able to quite pull that off before the rotation comes in. We're slowly getting these ticks in from both teams. We'll have to see who can get to 50 first. 7 coming in soon for both of these squads, so not really a huge advantage of getting this turned in super early. This early map objective doesn't usually get a lot of work done. You can typically get, maybe a couple of turrets in some of these lanes. The counter push from both teams is pretty good. Leo getting it turned in bot. So just 8 more now for the side of PrimeApes. Gotta find a way to get me a soundboard like you, Weenus. I think that's definitely a tool that every caster should have. Meanwhile, a couple more turn-ins attempted here for Team Mana Frenzy, but that's not going to work out. And part of the problem with having Joe as your tank as the wave clears, she tends to pick up a lot of those gems, and it's so hard for the tank to get turned in on this map. Meanwhile, a ton of damage coming down onto Jane. A nice combo for PrimeApes. Going to push Team Mana Frenzy back out of that turn-in location. Chain comes down. 5 stacks so far. In almost 5 minutes. That's not a great rate for Kel'Thuzad. Just goes to show Team Mana Frenzy trying really hard not to engage. They're doing a good job, even on this map where you're constantly wanting the denial. But they have been able to keep that Kel'Thuzad at bay for now, but down bot, we will see the turn-in snuck by Team Mana Frenzy, and they're going to be getting the first set of Web Weavers here. Clear up the top lane and may look to push here. Top lane, of course, is the lane of choice here. Main priority lane for Tomb because of the boss up in that top lane. But PrimeApe's going to be happy to just go ahead and clear up here in top or mid for now. I'm going to eventually rotate up to top, but Team Mana Frenzy going to get that wall down. And again, the dodge on that chain. Captain Bobo doing a nice job not making himself an easy target. And the stacks will stay at 5. Down bot, Kel's still working on getting this wall down. The slide comes in. Joshua Scott going to take a little bit of damage, but does have the Wraith Walk out. Wave will come in and finish off that wall. And the full rotation from PrimeApes here. Maybe a little bit of an over-rotation. I think 1 or 2 might have done it. Oh, and there's the chain. Count it for 7 now for Hiva. To be fair, though, while they're not stacking up the Kel'Thuzad, they're also not really stacking up the Jaina very much. 38k so far for the frost damage to try and unlock that ice block. Meanwhile, Heroics being picked up. Despite all the interrupts over on the side of PrimeApes, it is still going to be Mosh Pit here for Captain Bobo. Kira going to go ahead and pick up that final strike. We're also going to have Ancestral Healing, Ring of Frost, and the Purification Salvo. As PrimeApes pick up the objective along with this mid push, they're going to have Cursed Bullet along with the Entomb, the Shadow Fisher, Blessed Shield, and the Flailing Swipe. Here comes that Entomb. As they go in for Bobo, Silence comes down on top of it. A little bit of a pseudo level 20 there. As they throw that Lurking Arm into the Entomb, but a little bit too far in, I think, to really capitalize on it under tower. But we will see PrimeApes rotating to the top. trying to support this web weaver push. This is often the case. Oh, the slide and the mosh pit, but instantly interrupted. Nice job by Hiva. And look at the counter. The ring's not going to find any purchase, and that's a double kill. First 2 kills of the game here for PrimeApes. And they will get that fort up top, and as is much often the case, the second set of web weavers getting so much more value than the first. Depending on that timing, sometimes you can get something out of the first, but it was just so early for Team Mana Frenzy. They got they got some wall damage, but they're not going to get 2 forts out of it. PrimeApes not only capitalizing off of getting the first objective after 10, but also nice team fight there. The push back Team Mana Frenzy, give them room to really capitalize, and now they've got enough for another turn in. So here is the double turn in play. The slide comes in, will interrupt Stukov on the cap, and actually voluntarily coming off it is Joshua Scott. Gets 2 people into that entomb, but a very, very nice Ancestral on the other side. The Sabo comes down and gonna knock down a couple members of PrimeApes, so there's your counter double kill. Some gems gonna hit the floor as well for PrimeApes. They still have enough for turn-in, however, but they're not gonna get that turn-in. Team Mana Frenzy gonna beat them to the punch. And now it is Team Mana Frenzy's opportunity to try to capitalize. The 3 members down here in bot with Leoric spawning. A bit of a spread everywhere right now for Team Mana Frenzy. They are capitalizing on getting the soak in every lane at least. Now, chain coming out. There it is. The entomb on top of it, but that's ETC. You know, you're gonna need some more. You're probably gonna need your Greymane to really try to take him down. But still 16 stacks now for Hiva, so getting there. Make it 17. Now I do see the objective cleared out. Slide onto G Prime as they're trying to slow that rotation from Greymane. That Greymane flank can be quite deadly, but meanwhile up top, nobody really paid much attention to try and go. Just getting that push. That's going to be a bunch of damage to the front wall here of the top keep. And again, that's priority lane. You got your boss up top, so nice advantage for Team Mana Frenzy. Both top lanes have been beaten up a little bit, though. You know, a Shadow Fisher coming out on top of the combo. But, meanwhile, no wall damage to the top for Team Mana Frenzy from that last big push. But, front wall goes down for PrimeApes. Both teams going to focus on grabbing their camps here as they get closer to 16. Bit of a gem dump now for PrimeApes. Oh, look out! Kira taking a bunch of damage. Now, all 5 are here. We do see the collapse coming in from Team Mana Frenzy. Look out for the ring in these small areas. Only catches 2. The Sabo on top of it, though. Do get the mosh pit interrupted pretty quickly, but that's still Stukov going down. No heals for PrimeApes as the chase is on here. Kira going to jump all the way to the back. Going to get a ton of damage onto Joe. You know, I'll trying to get G Prime. Will eventually get the kill. Frozen going to be the only one left to live to tell the tale. Nice quad kill now for Team Mana Frenzy. It's going to put them up big here. It's going to give them the opportunity to go get boss. They're going to go right up there. They could do the boss and the turn-in, depending on how they want to play this. Really not much that PrimeApes can do about this either. They are clearing up the mid-camp. It's going to be too little too late for trying to get to this boss. I'm going to try the turn-in. The Frozen maybe waiting a little bit too long to try and make that play. course, that's easy to say from God mode up here. If they're all off map, maybe don't go into the turn-in. But where they will end up getting the turn-in for Team Mana Frenzy. Boss going to get a little bit of work done on this keep. But not quite as much as you maybe would like to get off of a boss with the turn-in combo. That's timed a little better. You might actually be able to see them push in with both the objective and the boss to look for keep. But still, this is going to get a decent amount of damage done in one or two of these lanes. PrimeApes can only defend so much, and they are looking... Oh, they're actually sending multiple to mid. Meanwhile, the full 5-man rotation to top. And there is the completion for those stacks for Hiva. Meanwhile, Joshua kind of looking for something here. We'll end up Wraith walking back. Meanwhile, objective does go down. A little bit of damage to the keep, but meanwhile, in other lanes, we do see the Web Weavers still on the push. This bottom wall, not long for this world. Now, just still threatening up top. Kind of hanging out up here. Our Team Mana Frenzy. We do see Greymane in bot lane. But the 4-man will be enough to stave them off for now. For now, all 3 keeps will stand. The bottom one just barely. And I'll see Team Mana Frenzy dumping the rest of what they got for gems. Bunch of gems sitting right now on to PrimeApes. Especially on Johanna. Frozen just sporting 54 gems. Joshua Scott looking for something. Will hit the Entomb, but the slide out is good. Purification Sabo comes down on the backside, but big damage onto Kira. It's going to be a 2-man mosh, but gets interrupted by the Flailing Swipe. Ring coming out, not finding a whole lot of purchase there either, but a big condemn into an even bigger combo from the rest of the team. Nice setup there for Frozen. Rhaegar going to go down, and what a turnaround here. PrimeApes going to get themselves a quad kill. It's been a real seesaw. The early 2-man kill for Team Mana Frenzy. Or no, for PrimeApes first, and then for Team Mana Frenzy. Then the 4-man for each team. And now it's going to be their opportunity to push. They march down the mid lane. They got a big wave here with the Web Weaver coming down, and the camp going to be behind that. They're going to make a big play for it here. Top is pushed out really, really far. Not going to get a whole lot done with that. Oh, the huge stack! But the ice block! Retired Lemon. Will just barely be enough to save him. Very nice. So for now, PrimeApes will back off this mid lane and go up top. Still looking at that priority lane, however. We do have a couple of catapults lining up behind this Web Weaver as well. You get one little bit of an advantage from having that lane pushed out. Those catapults tend to stack up a little bit. Well goes down, and they'll get started on chipping away at the keep here. Down to about half health. Big first bullet there. Staving off Captain Bobo, and we'll give them just enough breathing room. First keep of the game going over to PrimeApes as they rotate away. Kira not quite able to save the bottom fort from being cleared out. Level 20 now for both squads. Gotta look out for that Silence and Tomb combo now. A couple members trying to turn in. They do secure the turn in for PrimeApes, but it looks like Joshua Scott might be looking for it. Does find Phoenix, and now he can't pour it out until that Entomb comes down, at least. While on the backside, Mosh comes out, just moshing Greymane. That's going to be enough. The interrupts don't come in time. The single swipe, trying to knock him back here. We'll get Joshua Scott out. That's still a big pick here for Team Mana Frenzy, and good timing for them as these Web Weavers were coming down. That's going to loosen them up a little bit here to be able to clear these lanes. Bunch of gems, pretty much down the drain after that team fight. However, you win that team fight, you just go top lane and win, so can't really blame PrimeApes for giving it a shot. They did almost get the kill on Phoenix as well. That was very, very close. Meanwhile, PrimeApes gonna just kind of look out on top lane here. I do see everybody in the mid lane. Tempting to start this, but I think they're going to wait for Greymane. They're going to try to commit to the strategy of just bushing it. Here comes Captain Bobo. And Entomb, not quite going to come out for Joshua Scott. He was thinking about it. He's still thinking about it. Will hit it on the ETC. Damage comes down, and that's the blow-up. Deathmosh on the other side, though. 4-man Purification Savo with the ring coming in. Finally getting some people with that big ring. Greymane will go down from that Kira damage. With a little bit of assistance from the minions. Or is it the other way around? The minion maybe got it with the assistance of the Kira damage. Either way, 1 for 1. And we will see the mid lane being cleared up. Big wave clear. Coming in for the side of PrimeApes. What a matchup here. I think a big preliminary shout out to the folks over at the NGS staff that do the placements. This is a great match so far. Two very evenly matched teams. Team Mana Frenzy very close to having their turn in secured. They just need pretty much just one person to cap anywhere. Meanwhile, up top, PrimeApes looking at the boss again. They are going to start it this time around. They do have Greymane, so they got very good clear on this. Meanwhile, down bot, turn-in will be secured, but now it's going to be too late for them to rotate up to deny this boss. Nice play by PrimeApes. This is, again, going to kind of cancel out what's going on, but look out down bot. This has been pushing in, and they're going to be way too late to respond to save this keep. Team Mana Frenzy going to be able to go in and get this for free. And it looks like they might be looking to try to end. Nah. They're going to back out. But might be too late. The Entomb comes in. Mosh on the backside gets interrupted. Ring comes out. Will catch Joe. But Joe's got that indestructible to stay alive. Meanwhile, we will see the Wraith walk out for Joshua Scott. Big damage, though, from that last swipe. And both teams going to disengage. The boss is chipping away at the core. But luckily, they've got the catapult here chipping away at it. Other side, core going to be cleared out as well, but that's still big 42% damage taken out of that core from that boss. Gives PrimeApes a pretty easy path to victory if they're able to get another team fight win. They'll just go right through top. And even with the improved core defenses, I don't know if they're going to be able to do much about this at the end of the day. Both teams looking for something. Joshua Scott going to look to see if he can find a good Entomb. Instead, we'll just spook Team Mana Frenzy completely out of that area. They are split up pretty bad right now, but meanwhile, turn-in being secured up top. It'll be real close, but they actually don't have it. We will see the Cursed Bullet coming out. Chunkin' Captain Bobo. Drango gonna have to try to get out of there, but Kira gonna be caught in the Entomb. Damage coming down, and the heals not coming in quite fast enough to save him. Meanwhile, Tired Lemon flanking from the top takes a ton of damage. There's the Ancestral. The slide comes out, and Leoric goes down, so it is a 1-for-1. The Bruisers are gone. And both teams overall pretty healthy. We got G Prime a little bit down on health at the moment. The biggest difference here is PrimeApes close to a turn-in, and Team Mana Frenzy is most definitely not close. Giant wave in the bot. Gonna have to be answered to for PrimeApes. And they will do so. Turn in. Coming in here. Potentially. Gonna dump some of those gems. And at minute 24 here in this match, see a little bit of a lull, but look out! Defiant Angel going to be caught out a little bit here. Entomb comes down. He's going to be trapped in that. Big damage coming in as well from Kel'Thuzad. Is it going to be enough, though? No. Defiant Angel makes it out. You know, G Prime is on top of Jaina in the backside, and you never want to see that. Tired Lemon makes it out, though, somehow. The jukes are real. Slide coming in as well with the Mosh Pit. Going to cut off two more members while Kel'Thuzad gets singled out up top. Kel'Thuzad coming right back, though, with that Phylactery. Leoric and Stukov going down in the meantime, though. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, we might have finally seen the end, or the beginning of the end of this game. It's going to have to be quite a defense if they're going to keep Team Mana Frenzy off of this core. The core on the other side starting to take some hits as well, though, as they do come in to try to defend. This is just Joe and Kel'Thuzad, though, on the defense. The Cleanse comes out, but ETC goes down. The Death Mosh going to stall for time a little bit, but both cores are being chipped away at. But the four members looks like should be enough as the wave comes in. And it's going to be Team Mana Frenzy getting the win for game number 1. But ladies and gentlemen, if that is an indication of how this series is going to go, don't go anywhere. We've got a great match coming up for you here. Great rest of this match. Get on over to our summary screen. "25 minutes, 54 seconds. We were kind of expecting the match lengths to get extended a little bit by some of these most recent changes in the big patch, the big game update. But still, what a seesaw of a match back and forth. That was really anybody's game for the last couple of minutes there. It decided on that last team fight. I still do not. I legitimately am not sure how Tired Lemon got out of that when G Prime was on top of him, 11th, putting down the lurking arm on top of the Jaina, but still made it out somehow. Totally amazing. It looks like we've already got an invite for game number 2. So let me give you guys a quick look at these talents one last time before we move on to the next game. Also, looks like the teams are going to swap sides on me. So let me fix that real quick. Alrighty. Now we'll go ahead and give Team Mana Frenzy their win as well while we're at it. Looks like game number 2 I'm going to be going to Battlefield of Eternity. And we're going to go to a quick break while these teams get set up. They're I can't blame them after that long of a that long of a game that we're all needing a quick restroom break. So we'll be right back with game number 2 here of this C East matchup. Alright, and we are back for game number 2. Team Mana Frenzy getting the game 1 win on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And now we see PrimeApes taking us to Battlefield of Eternity. Really, really unique meta drafting for this map with the map objective. Having to burn down those immortals. Looking for PvE heroes like none other on this map. You don't typically see some of the bans that you could see on this map. Stuff like Vala, you would just almost never see banned anywhere else. Greymane can be sometimes a common ban, but especially after seeing how PrimeApes used that last game, wouldn't be shocked to see Team Mana Frenzy take that out. But you also might see some of the more standard bans. We did see Zeratul banned out last game by Team Mana Frenzy, so that just makes me really, really think that somebody on PrimeApes plays a lot of Zeratul. And there is the Vala ban. That Hungering Arrow build can just be brutal. Having to go against going against that on an immortal burn. And there is the Greymane ban. Burn just too strong. Begs the question if we'll still see a Zol ban. He's not really bad on any map. He's just a super strong team fighter with really good wave clear. Well, no, PrimeApes is going to let it through. Johanna is going to be the ban of choice. Definitely top tier tank, of course. Very influential in most games that she's in. Does leave Zol up, though. We'll have to see if Team Mana Frenzy wants it. And they will take it. Hard to say no to Zol right now. He did get a little bit of a health nerf in the last patch, but I don't know. It didn't seem to me like where a lot of his strength lies. I feel like the leech, the self-healing that he does is really a lot of it. And to a certain extent, it doesn't matter how many health you have when you're healing as fast as the people that are dealing damage to you could possibly do. Anyway, Raynor and ETC picked up for PrimeApes. Stukov and Jaina gonna close out the first half of this draft. So we'll see Tired Lemon back on that Jaina. Stukov stolen away, though, this time around. Could be a tank chokehold applied here by PrimeApes. They will go for that. Diablo. Diablo good for this map, not only thematically, especially if you're on the hell side, but also very good because of all the terrain in the middle of this map. When you're fighting over these objectives, there's just so many angles. It's so easy to get. It's almost difficult to get a charge that doesn't land into a wall in the middle of this map. Ana going to be banned out on the other side, so again, that healer chokehold being applied. It is on the opposite team, same side, but they switched on us. Two picks coming up here for the side of PrimeApes. And much like their counterparts in the last game, we'll hold off on that solo lane pickup until they see for sure what Team Mana Frenzy is going to have. They could put Zul in the solo lane, but they could also put him in the 4-man. Pick a different solo laner. It'd be a little bit front heavy. And that doesn't really give you a whole lot of answers because, again, Phoenix can do just fine in the solo lane. depending on what you pick. But I like that response from Team Mana Frenzy. When you don't have that last pick, you don't have the counter ability. And so they keep it flexible. Now they can have Zol or Phoenix in that solo lane to counter the Chen from PrimeApes. Very interesting pick. You don't see a whole lot of Chen, but Joshua Scott going to show us how it's done. From a burn perspective, I like... So Team Mana Frenzy's got more burst with the Jaina. Depending on what build Tired Lemon goes with the Jaina, could potentially have decent burn potential. But PrimeApes has the constant damage advantage. It kind of favors PrimeApes in terms of trying to fight, I think, on the points. Zol, of course, gives you a little bit of an edge in the team fighting right now, I think. But either way, getting into this game number 2 on the left, PrimeApes. We're going to have G Prime playing Raynor, Frozen going to be on the ETC, Haiba playing Li Ming, Joshua Scott playing Chen, and 11th going to be playing Lucio. For Team Mana Frenzy, we're going to have Captain Bobo playing the Muradin, Triango playing the Phoenix, Tired Lemon on Jaina, Defiant Angel on Stukov, and we're going to have Kelvs playing the Zol. Getting on into Battlefield of Eternity. We'll see our teams lining up. Preliminary, it looks like we're going to have Phoenix up top. I like that. I like that pick. You put that ranged damage dealer against the melee. Gives them the potentiality, at least, for an advantage. Performance and execution, we'll see. But love it. Especially with the XP changes. With the XP globes, if you're able to push somebody back when they're on a melee hero, it makes it very difficult for them to effectively pick those up. When you got somebody super tanky like Chen, it's not as much of a problem, but we'll see how that goes in the top lane. Meanwhile, down bottom, full team respecting the 4-1 standard approach for the start of this match. Nobody trying any hijinks of any kind. We will see the root coming out early. Nothing going there. Meanwhile, the wave clear, so good for Team Mana Frenzy down in the spot lane. Big orb coming in, though, from Haiba. Nicely done. And they will get it cleared up. Tired Lemon. Really, the only one that comes out of this with some lost health early. You see the root coming down, along with the silence on the backside, trying to stop the healing, but Lucio going to keep those beats rolling. Oh, and up top, Chen gets the first kill. Oh, I missed it. Able to show that Phoenix. What fur? Now we'll see the Zol rotating to the top lane. First blood for PrimeApes this time around. No, wait, they had the first kill last time as well. Never mind, I take it back. But instantly we're seeing Zol taking some damage. Does anyone have an answer to Joshua Scott up here? I'm not sure. Oof. So close. Tired Lemon just barely able to skirt around that orb. Phoenix going to get started back here on the camp. Going to be joined by Stukov. Up top, Kel's doing a little bit better. There's a bit of an advantage down here in the push, but they're going to be a little bit late on the camp. Actually, realizing that there's only 2 here. Oh, the slide actually comes out. Muradin gets taken down. That's a huge response. That's a nice coordinated attack there. Frozen on the slide, and the damage dealers were ready to go on that play. They'll get themselves the bottom camp. Meanwhile, the back camp is prepped but not taken for the side of Team Mana Frenzy just yet. Nice damage from Try and Go. Back camp will get capped just a few seconds before this first Immortal spawn. And again, a little bit late on the camp here for PrimeApes, but not too late. Give a little bit of a rotation advantage for Team Mana Frenzy. It looks like they're actually going to rotate up to try to defend rather than trying to burn. There's the slide coming in. Big damage onto G Prime. Rainer goes down. But meanwhile, look at Chen way in the back here. He'll be taking on the team all by himself. That's not going to work out, though. And for now, we're going to see PrimeApes push back. Camp getting some damage out here up top. Not doing too bad. We'll see Tired Lemon rotating down to deal with that. But for right now, a little bit of an immortal health advantage for PrimeApes, even with the deaths there. Death timers are low, so they are back now. And now it's 5v3 up top here. And they will get a nice clear advantage here for these Immortals. We'll have to see if either team wants to get... oh yeah, look at the slide in from both the Lucio and the ETC. Trying to knock back Captain Bobo. He's going to have to back up and get some heals. Looks like PrimeApe's going to step up and continue to try to defend. Joshua Scott jumping forward, but gets rooted. And now we'll see a bunch of damage coming down with the silence, and that's going to be another kill for Team Mana Frenzy. Try and Go, trying to get back there to the back line, but going to have to port out as the rest of the team collapses in. But Frozen not going to be able to make it out in time. Meanwhile, now it is Team Mana Frenzy stepping up trying to defend. But this thing is hanging on by 205 health. Phoenix is going to get some damage on it, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. Yeah, just the one penetrating round there from G Prime going to be enough. Can't block that. And PrimeApe's going to get the first map objective here. And have this Immortal pushing up in the top lane. First Immortal, not going to get a whole lot. They might get the front wall down here, looks like. Good siege damage potential from PrimeApes, though. As this Immortal hits the ground and walks right up to the keep. PrimeApes want to be careful not to overstay here. And they will back on off. Front wall, decent amount of damage onto the fort, actually. That's more than I thought they were going to get. And now we got a 4v4 starting up top. Dwarf toss in by Bobo. And look at the aggressive portal. That might be a little bit too far. Phoenix goes down. Hiva hitting an orb from the other side as well. We're going to knock Bobo down to a rough health total. We will see down bot lane. Elves continuing to push in with these minions, but Captain Bobo and Defiant Angel are going to join him down here. That's an interesting rotation. That's going to leave top pretty soft. Yeah, that's definitely going to allow PrimeApes to push in and get the fort. They don't have the clear for this camp. And of course, I'm not sure how much info they have on the map about 3 being down here, but you could potentially even push in further. Yeah, they think they're on this back camp. They are pinging it and going for it. While they are prioritizing clearing top, Defiant Angel is going to scout this out, and they're going to get here in time. The slide comes in to try and push back Tired Lemon. But yeah, it is going to be PrimeApes that is having to run. Nice response from Team Mana Frenzy. They scouted that out. They responded to it quick. And we'll get their camp secured. Level 10's coming in right now, though, for PrimeApes. as they go back to get their own camp. They're going to have Hyperion, Mosh Pit, Wave of Force, Storm, and Fire. Storm, Earth, and Fire. And the Beat Drop, a.k.a. Sound Barrier. Meanwhile, for the side of Team Mana Frenzy, they're going to have the Avatar, Purification Sabo, Ring of Frost. They're going to have the Flailing Swipe, and for Zol, Skeletal Mages. Fight ensuing here over the top Immortal. PrimeApes getting a good amount of damage, though. Whenever they take these, even these sort of passive back and forth fights, they're getting a lot of damage on the Immortal here. Right here, Team Mana Frenzy has to be able to step up and shove them off this point. If they can't take a defense 5v5 under their Immortal, then that's big problems. And now it's going to be a rough defense. They have to go all the way to the other side to try and find positioning to defend their Immortal. Skeletal Mages does come out, though. And we will see them pushing forward. Sabo comes down, Hyperion flanking from the top. The Ring comes down as well. Stukov goes down. Raynor on the other side, though. Big swipe in from the Immortal, but they are chasing after the Zol. Muradin goes down as well, and so that ends up as a 1-for-1 to start, but a 1-for-3 to finish here in favor of PrimeApes. And they are going to get themselves the second Immortal of the game. And now they've got their foot on the gas as they go down to the bot lane with this one. Still sending Chen top to get the soak. It's still pretty early. You're not going to finish with this. So I like the call to continue that solo lane push and try to continue to get something from that top lane XP. I'm going to be 13 sometime during this push, I do believe. Big orb coming in as well. Bobo getting poked down a little bit low. And while shields are down on the Immortal, so they're not going to get a whole lot more out of this. They'll get some wall damage. They might be able to secure the wall if they focus their damage on it. They got to be careful, though, under these towers. You can see right there, G Prime taking some poke from the tower. They will focus it down, and they will not overstay. Great play by PrimeApes. We'll get level 13 in this push as well. Get about a level and a half right now in terms of the XP advantage. Now with those forts down, they're going to be spawning catapults that will constantly push against Team Mana Frenzy, along with that extra ticking HP. Slide coming in. Frozen trying to get that one-man mosh, but the boop out. Meanwhile, Sabo comes down. Frozen in a lot of trouble, but Muradin actually the first to go down on the other side. What a crazy team fight. A lot of damage coming down real fast over there. And again, Team Mana Frenzy so close for that being a good fight on their side. They almost got frozen down. Struggling to finish the job here. In some of these team fights. Nice scouting there from Joshua Scott. You're going to be able to keep them out and get the camp stolen away before Muradin can get back in. Mortals coming up soon here. Constant action on this map, of course. Gotta love Battlefield. Camp going to be picked up on the backside as well, so that's even more pressure coming in towards Team Mana Frenzy now. A bit of a sense of urgency here. Captain Bobo getting slid and knocked back with that face melt. Ring, however, not finding its mark. We are going to see PrimeApes pushing in a little bit closer. Joshua Scott up top, though. taking quite a bit of damage. Gets stunned on the top side. We will see the sound barrier coming out, trying to keep him up, but it's not going to be enough. Chen is going to fall, but look at the 4-man slide coming in from Frozen, and that is going to be a disaster for Team Mana Frenzy in that moment. Youch! Frozen setting it up, and the damage dealers from PrimeApes knocking it down. 1 for 3 once again. We're going to see the members of Team Mana Frenzy having to settle for being able to rotate out and clear up these lanes. While PrimeApes are going to continue on their 3rd straight Immortal, and this one's going to be a full shield Immortal. Going to be going in that top lane, I do believe. They're also going to have level 16 on this push, so this is going to be a rough defense for Team Mana Frenzy. They're going to have to pull something out. You almost got to wonder if we're going to see PrimeApes. They could counter push here, but they are going to go ahead and go with the Immortal. I think you don't got anything wrong with either call. It's just kind of an either-or option at this point. They've got good siege, so they're going to be able to poke in decent damage from beyond this Immortal. We will see the root with that silence coming out onto Frozen, but he's able to back up and get some heals. And we'll see the dive in, and Jaina just gets bursted down by the Chen and the Rainer. Savo on the other side, the interrupt coming out on the mosh pit though. They're trying to push in past this, but they're still fighting right next to this Immortal, having to worry about the stuns. Keep is going to go down. And while the Immortal will start wailing on the core, it's PrimeApes trying to push in with it here. Shields are getting low. Captain Bobo wading out into the team, trying to find something. Slide not quite finding its mark, but Murden goes down anyway. Meanwhile, Joshua Scott diving in does get rooted from the core, however. And there's the silence route to follow it up. But it's too little too late. The core getting focused down by PrimeApes. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a Game 3 here. As PrimeApes get the win on Battlefield of Eternity. Very nicely done. Silver is 86. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Also, a belated thank you to Inverus Healthcare, Universal Healthcare. Followed while we were not live, which is interesting. Anyway, let's get on to the match summary here. So we give PrimeApes their points. 1-1 in the series now as we'll go on to Game 3. A pretty dominating effort, I think, from PrimeApes. They really focused on fighting on the Immortal. They were very patient with how they executed those fights, and overall, very well performed by this team. Looking at the stat block, Hiva doing very, very nice damage. 4-7-0 just ain't bad overall. Good healing from Lucio as well. 11th putting out those constant heals. Good sound barriers to, if not keep people alive, keep them up long enough to be effective in these team fights and get the kills they needed. Every Immortal secured, that pretty much says it all. Take a look at the talents one last time before we move on to our next game. And we will take a quick break while we set up for game number 3. This one's going to be a good one, folks. I have a feeling. Don't go anywhere. All right, game number 3. Coming at you here. We're going to Volskaya Foundry for the final game of this series. Team Mana Frenzy electing for the map pick. Taking us here. Volskaya, of course, very, very heavily favors those who can really focus on those camp timings. The toys here, probably the most unique aspect to this map. Usage of that Triglaw protector, though, definitely not something to overlook. Kalphos is going to be the first ban out for PrimeApes. Anything that's got good AoE damage in these somewhat confined quarters of these control points can be good. I see Asmodan banned out on the other side. It's looking a lot like that first draft to start. PrimeApes going to take Johanna off the board. And the Zolban, so not particularly effective in those first couple of games for these two heroes. Actually, I think they were both banned out in the first game. So yeah, second game, I think Joe and Zol, not super effective. It was the ETC, I feel like, that was maybe the biggest factor in that last one. But Greymane going to be the pickup for PrimeApes anyway. Leaves Team Mana Frenzy with a couple of options here. They could have their first pick of the remaining tanks. Could decide to grab a healer to try to avoid the healer chokehold. Gonna pick up Vala and Deckard. So Deckard, an interesting pick on this map, especially if Defiant Angel can get rotated early enough to these map objectives. You can lay a lot of potions down, give your team a bit of an early edge in terms of fighting on these control points. There's a lot of setup characters in the game that can give that to you, but I would say Deckard's probably the most meta of those. Stukov going to be picked up once again for 11th. And the ETC. Frozen did a great job with that character last game, so be interested to see if that follows through to game number 3. Ban coming up here for Team Mana Frenzy. They're going to block out the Leo. You remember back to that first game and those entombs. I want to see that again. Deciding to let the Chen through, though. We'll see if that Chen becomes a factor again here in game number 3. And Muradin banned out, so both teams playing a little bit of that denial game. There's the Diablo, and we'll see another Kira coming out from Kells. We almost got an all Diablo squad from Team Mana Frenzy, but Kira doesn't really belong. I don't know if that counts. Kira doesn't really belong to any of them, I don't believe. And there is that Chen once again, and we've seen Zeratul being banned out consistently in this series, but this time they're going to let it get through to Helva. So we'll see if that Zeratul lives up to the hype. Definitely a good pick against the Vala. Having direct damage that can easily get back to that squishy Vala can be pretty effective. And Tyrande coming out, so double support comp for Team Mana Frenzy. They're pulling out all the stops here in game number 3. Very, very interesting strategy. Now, of course, Diablo Tyrande is an old, tried and true combo. We'll have to see if it lacks overall tankiness. Though they've got the double support to try and help Vala, be that hyper carry that she really wants to be. But meanwhile, you've got a pretty dive heavy comp for PrimeApes, and not a whole lot to get in the way. Diablo not the best peeling tank. We'll see how it works out. On the left, Team Mana Frenzy, we got Captain Bobo playing the Diablo. Kelv's going to be on the Kira. Defiant Angel on the Deckard. Tired Lemon going to be on the Tyrande. And Try and Go going to be on the Vala. For PrimeApes, we're going to see 11th back on the Stukov. Joshua Scott on the Chen. Iva getting to play the Zeratul. Frozen going to be on the ETC. And we've got G Prime on the Greymane. Big moment for both of these teams, of course. Week 1 loss, not really too big a deal. You're not worrying too much about that. But always helps to start out with an uplifting moment. Looks like Joshua Scott gonna go directly down to that bot lane. Not gonna engage in the mid shenanigans. Finds the Zeratul with that owl. Both teams going to tentatively start poking around. While down bot, it is going to be the Chen versus the Kira. See how that matchup continues as the rotation up top starts to get rolling. Meanwhile, in about 5 seconds, we're going to have these first camps spawning on each side. We'll have to see which team prioritizes getting down to these turrets. If you get this first turret fast enough, you can get a second one during that first control phase. So, right away we see G Prime on top of it. No problem there. Meanwhile, Kelv's taking a lot of damage from Joshua Scott. We saw this early in the first game, that he was able to get an early kill with that Chen. So there's the camp take for the side of PrimeApes. No rotation yet from Team Mana Frenzy for that camp. Joshua, both actually getting kind of low. But Kira clearing out the lane. That's 2 full lanes worth of ranged minions now assaulting the wall. Gonna get a decent amount of damage. Not a ton, but, chip away at that wall a little bit. Meanwhile, rotation continuing up here in the top and mid. No real big change of note here. A couple members rotating to get this camp for Team Mana Frenzy. Both teams will have a turret going into this first objective. Meanwhile, G Prime finishing up with the Bruisers, or the Siege Camp, I should say. While kind of mirroring that rotation. Slight level lead here for PrimeApes. They've gotten a few more, either a few more minions, or they've just, that could be the difference in taking that camp early so far. That Siege. Nice rotation here. Heads up from PrimeApes. They see that Team Mana Frenzy is a little bit slower on the camp rotation. They deduce that a couple members are probably still getting that Siege camp. They jump on that of the heal camp. Get that biotic emitter.
Terminal online. Take control of it to pilot the mech.
Well, both teams going to rotate down here. Look out, Kira, though. Yeah, no way she's making it out of this one. That was just... Her life was going to last as long as she was on the merry-go-round there. And that will allow the rotation up and PrimeApes to secure the point for the moment. Short death timers, though. Kira will be back soon. Chen continuing to soak in the bot lane. Level 7 going to be picked up here for PrimeApes. Between the extra camp grab, the kill, and, you know, maybe a little bit of extra XP in that bot lane, got about a half-level lead. You know, Team Mana Frenzy, gonna have to be careful here. They don't really want to engage this before they get level 7. They don't really have anyone actively soaking it either. Bit of an early turret, though, there for PrimeApes. They do still have the biotic emitter, though. Meanwhile, they will get that overtime. Captain Bobo, though, coming in. Level 7 is now here for Team Mana Frenzy. They will put down that emitter, but it gets destroyed pretty quickly. And they weren't able to really push in with it. Meanwhile, Haiba up top, soaking the lane, while Chen getting in maybe a little bit too far. A little lack of coordination there for PrimeApes, but ultimately they still got a long way to go for Team Mana Frenzy if they're going to get this point. Both teams do have their fortification camps available, so PrimeApe's going to go get the turret. See if that's a similar decision. Yeah, it made, again, a little bit later for Team Mana Frenzy. Going to allow PrimeApes to kind of push into this point a little bit, kind of poke around. They will grab the camp, but yeah, you see them pushing in immediately, getting a nice advantage in this team fight early. Vala goes down. And now they're going to be able to secure this point, no problem. PrimeApes going to get the first Protector and gets the Tyrande on the backside of it too. Having to put down that turret or risk losing it. This is a huge win for PrimeApes. Going to start taking down this mid wall. Defiant Angel also completely out of mana here. G Prime getting up there just in time for that giant wave in the top. Meanwhile, this is the call right here that I really like. They go in immediately onto this well. Secure that top well so that Team Mana Frenzy will not have it available for the next map objective. Control point B up in that top lane. Pretty standard strategy. Meanwhile, they'll continue poking a little bit here at the mid fort. Level 10's now coming in for PrimeApes. We're going to see Go for the Throat along with the Massive Shove, Earth, Storm and Fire, Void Prism, and of course that Mosh Pit. Slide coming in. They're trying to pressure Diablo back. They do secure, once again, the biotic emitter. And right now, PrimeApes really doing a nice job prioritizing the camps, getting themselves some extra toys to play with this game so far, utilizing them well as well. Now level 10's coming in for Team Mana Frenzy as they try and get in onto the ETC, but Frozen should be just fine. We're going to see the Apocalypse along with that Final Strike once again. The Lornado, the Strafe, and Tyrande going to go with Shadow Stock. Charge in from Diablo. Frozen taking a little bit of damage, but there's the slide into the Mosh Pit. The stun's coming down as well. APOC coming out, but not going to be in time to interrupt that big Mosh Pit. But look out, it's a full turnaround here. Vala and Deckard that went down first, and that's going to turn in to a 4-man possibly even a 5-man. Look out, Kira. Now on the wrong side of the party here as the slide comes in. Team Mana Frenzy trying to get aggressive, trying to invade that camp, but they just were not able to get the job done. The huge mosh pit coming in from Frozen. And, you know, the interrupt potentiality is there for Team Mana Frenzy, but they just didn't get that interrupt in enough time, I think. By the time that mosh pit was done, the team fight was practically over. And now it's level 13 for PrimeApes. It's still this long, long wait between map objectives here on Volskaya Foundry. So there's still some time to regroup for Team Mana Frenzy. Get themselves a little closer to 13. There it is. Oh, and look out, Kira. Kel's going to try and make it out, but that's going to be a slide into a face melt. And yeah, right now PrimeApes just has the momentum, and they are not letting it go. That's level 14 now. They're gonna be close to level 16 by the time Team Mana Frenzy finds this 13 talent tier. So they're gonna have to be very precise about how they try and get this even talent tier fight for Team Mana Frenzy. They're gonna have to utilize that window when they have it. Otherwise, this game might start rolling away from them a little bit too far out of control. You know, we do see Stukov standing on the point, and I like this spread. PrimeApes know that Team Mana Frenzy is definitely not going to come fight them without that talent, with that talent tier advantage, so they are utilizing that knowledge to just get everything else on the map. And, yeah, like I said, they're getting close to 16 at this point. Meanwhile, 75%. Oh, no, the Tyrande gets caught out in top lane. That is a backbreaker for Team Mana Frenzy. And that's going to be the Triglav Protector going over to PrimeApes once again. They're going to be able to push in this top lane. Actually, no, they're going to take it down. I like this call more, actually. They're going to take it down where Team Mana Frenzy is not. They're going to chunk out this mid fort. We'll have to see how long they stay here. Tyrande just now coming back up. They will secure the fort. And I like this call even more. We're going to go down to bot lane. Control point C going to be down in this bot lane, so if they can get the well here, they'll secure that as an advantage as well. And if you get the whole fort, then they really have nowhere to run to. They will get the well in the front wall, though. Still a nice win. Level 16's now online for PrimeApes as well. So again, you got that long window where you've got advantage. Chen just kind of hanging out in this rotation spot up here. I like this. This is a 4v5. Tyrande is up in the top lane. Man, they see that. PrimeApe's going to capitalize on it as they charge in and they'll steal away the camp. I think this is one of the top complaints with the maps that have these these turrets and these toys. This one and Hanamura. Once you kind of get control of this map, you just kind of get the opportunity to just roll around on the map and do pretty much whatever you want. It can be very, very hard to invade and secure any of these camps from your opponent when you're down talent tiers. And then once you secure the advantage of having all these extra turrets, the heal camp, it's pretty hard to team fight you right now. You got You literally everybody on your team has an item. It's kind of impossible to do anything about that. Oh no, look out! Rhonda getting caught out up top. And that's harsh. Top fort gonna go down. Level 16 coming in soon here. So again, you got that small window where you might be on the same talent tier, but at this point, again, you know, how many turrets do they have to invest to make that almost an auto win? You almost have to just engage them to bait out the items. They're pushing in with the camp here in the top lane. Level 16 is going to come in here for Team Mana Frenzy, and they do have Tyrande back. So this is the time. They could try to do something about this camp invade. And it looks like they are posturing for it. Yeah, Diablo's going to waltz on in. He gets stunned to start, but the APOC comes down. Lornado on the backside actually zoning away multiple members of PrimeApes, and they will get the kill onto Zeratul. They also get the camp steal away.
I'm getting another
And now they are on the charge. They're going to go ahead and take the support camp as well. I love this call. It's a nice comeback here for Team Mana Frenzy. They are in a rough spot, but they managed to get a big win there. Shout out to Defiant Angel with that great Lornado. I just didn't see that one coming, to be honest with you. I thought it was a good call to invade, but again, like, my thought process is you invade that to try and bait out some of the turrets, and then you back up. To be fair, PrimeApes kind of held on to a lot of their items. I'm actually not sure if they used a single one of those items. Joshua Scott had used his already somewhere before that even came down. And the only turret I saw up there was a blue turret that might have actually fallen off of Zeratul. Now there's going to be early point capture for Team Mana Frenzy. PrimeApe's going to be able to secure yet another camp here. And now they can choose to charge in here. They could also choose to wait until level 20, but it looks like they're going to get a little aggressive here early. And now they're going to back off. They know that they can just wait it out. They've got time to get 20, I do believe, or at least get very, very close. Oh, but look at the charge in. Frozen stepping forward. Now going to have to slide out. Doesn't have the slide now, as Chen is soaking in the mid. And the Protector is going to come down here. Yeah, Hiva getting on at the last moment. This is a big Void Prism, though. The APOC to try and counter the Engage. Frozen, though, going to hit a big three-man mosh pit. Diablo going to be the first to fall. We do see these turrets rolling down as well. Level 20's coming in as a factor, and that is exactly what we thought it might be. PrimeApes able to take advantage. Now they are able to push down the bottom fort, and they'll be able to get back onto this point, kind of control the rest of this map for a while. A valiant effort, though, for Team Mana Frenzy. That was a much closer fight than I thought it would be in terms of health. They once all those turrets went down, it started going haywire. But now we're gonna have bottom keep going down and open path to the core, and so we will have to see if Team Mana Frenzy can mount a defense. Kira going to come in, going to get jumped on. Nice counter charge there by Bobo, though, along with the CC coming in from Deckard. Lornado kind of pushing him back, but they're not going to get on the point fast enough. So now we're going to have the Protector coming in on this. We'll charge in. Nice orb. Huge laser there. Still 11, level 1.5 levels Until we see Team Mana Frenzy get that level 20. Charge in onto Chen with the APOC to follow it up. Not even going to get a chance to pop those Panda Pals. Nice counter kill, but Kira will fall. As the Protector's on core here. Triangle able to actually take down Greymane. But the core damage is coming in hot from the Protector. Are they going to be able to take this down in time? Core down below 50%. It'll charge in. It's got just too much health. And ladies and gentlemen, game number 3 and the series going over to PrimeApes. What a series for these guys. I like the last second shout outs to the Lornado. That definitely was well deserved. But it is PrimeApes that ends up getting the win. Pretty dominant performance overall from PrimeApes in that game number 3. They just kind of had well, okay, let me set up an interview real quick. We'll get G Prime in here.
Hey.
Hello, so I'm joined by team captain for PrimeApes, G Prime. How are you guys feeling after that win?
Really good. Game 1 was a bit of a tilter with like how we, I guess, treated the late game. I know I made like a critical mistake, but we recuperated really well in games 2 and 3. For a new team, like we were playing like a bunch of monkeys at first. That's why we got the team name, but we played better in monkeys today.
Yeah, especially in that game 3, really great team coordination. Great, you guys did an amazing job with the camp prioritization. You guys were just constantly ahead in the rotations and controlling the map. Tell me a little bit about what goes through your mind when you're up the level. You're up by a couple levels, 16 to 18. You guys are on that camp, and then that giant Lornado comes in.
Yeah, we wanted the camp there, and the Lornado was really good. Like, credit where credit's due. This turned the fight, because otherwise I think we could have smashed and potentially ended there, or at least gotten to keep it top. Other than that, like for camp coordination, we really liked the fight, but at the same time our coach just kind of reined us in and just put the emphasis on camps timers, which camp's the most important. So it's basically been a shouting fest for, okay, camp's up, I'm peeling off, don't pick a fight, don't pick a fight, don't pick a fight. But yeah, the camp timings were really good for that, and it's something we've worked really hard on. And Volskaya's a map that we got like a good set of scrims on, and the replays, the VOD reviews have really helped us kind of narrow down the macro mistakes.
That's good to hear. We don't hear about a lot of C division teams not only doing coaching but also doing a replay review. Are you guys? What is your long-term goal with the team? Are you guys looking to move up and improve, or are you kind of happy where you're at?
I think it's short-term more than long-term for now, but the division's to improve, right? I've played in seasons 1 and 2, like way back when NGS was starting, and it's one of the things where we weren't doing VOD reviews, and it was very difficult to improve because we'd essentially go and redo the same thing over and over again without really being called out too much. We got a coach for season 2, but it's still difficult if you're not doing the VOD review where the mistakes pointed out very obviously. This team is like super receptive to VOD reviews and to any kind of feedback. We're always in VOD reviews when mistakes are pointed out. It's not only like, oh shit, I fucked up, but it's mostly, okay, how do I not make that mistake again? What's the better play to make? What can we get for this? So the focus, considering we founded like 1 week before NGS started, the focus has really been on improving and kind of getting our base really strong. So for now, the focus is win Div C, smash everyone, hopefully with 2-0s instead of 2-1s.
Now, one other thing I wanted to ask you guys about was game number 2. You guys had very good control on those team fights when you guys were fighting under the enemy immortals. Tell me a little bit about your guys' team fighting style for that map, your drafting style. How do you guys feel like you did on map number 2?
I was pleasantly surprised because it's not a comp we've practiced a whole lot. We've practiced it on different maps, but not necessarily. And they kept banning Zeratul, which was really annoying. But the main thing was don't fight unless we can secure a pick. And Muradin was very ahead of his team most of the time, so we could initiate on him. There was a big slide by ETC at the end of the game that kind of secured it and turned one fight around, kind of the same way the Lornado did in game 3.
All right, well, before we let you go, I would be remiss if I didn't roll out the red carpet for you and let you do some shout-outs.
Shout out for my team, my bunch of monkeys. Congrats on winning week 1, and everyone else, we're coming for you.
All right, well, congrats on the win. It is just week 1, but long season to go, but this is definitely the way you want to start it. Congrats on the win, and we'll look forward to seeing how you guys do the rest of the season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for casting tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure.
Have a good one.
You too. All right, guys. Well, that is going to do it for our match tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching. Congrats to both teams for putting on a great show. Very competitive series. PrimeApes coming out with the win. One last shout out that I would like to make is, of course, to our NGS Patreon. Make sure to check that out, and we'll actually throw this up for you. My buddy Mongoose always working on those Patreon reports, or no, not reports, but rewards, I should say. So check those out. Consider supporting NGS, continuing this awesome amateur series that we all know and love. Biggest season that we've had in a long time. And also consider following the channel if you guys want to see more. I'll be doing more casting throughout the season. So if you want to see some more great NGS action, click that follow button. And until next time, guys, thanks all for coming out. We'll see you guys later. Have a good night.